welcome to one of the other episode of panel discussion from G.S.Kumar. This particular discussion is going to be in the topic of hiring trends, recession, and layoff. Will it affect India? That's a big question mark, which with everybody is running in their mind. And usually, what happens is big tech companies and big problems. That is what we are facing right now. And as we speak, there are a lot of layoffs is going on. Naming few companies like Byju's, ShareChat, OYO, Cars24, Swiggy, Vedanto, Ola, Unacademy, and so on. The very recent one is a big blow is from Accenture, who's cutting jobs about 0.5% of their workforce, which is about to 19,000 employees, which has been getting paid. And the bigger problem, even with the job search platforms like Indeed, who's getting off about 2,200. So it's a big challenge for Indians. And here we have a good number of diversified panel members who are from various cities and different domains. Starting from Jasmine Kaur, who's an organizational behavior coach from Delhi. Mr. Abilesh from Coimbatore, digital asset creator. Mr. Madhavan, corporate leadership coach from Bangalore. Happy to welcome you all. And I just start with your opinion on what is it meaning of global tech layoff and recession, and what does it mean for India, starting from Mr. Madhavan.
So thank you so much. First, my hi to Jasmine, hi to my Manita, Abilesh. Very good evening to all three of you, plus Kumar. So if you look at the global tech in terms of what you're talking in terms of laying off, it's become like a phenomenon where the great days of 1995 up to 2007, when pores and pores of people were just about getting educated. And you look at anybody who stand next to you, that fellow is an engineer, that girl is an engineer. It's like a basic norm that you need to study engineering just because you need to get into that particular phase of the company, which is the IT foundation, IT company. Because that's the basic necessity they wanted. Because for a person to get inside an organization of the stature where technology has to be understood, he should have the ability to code, program, do the algorithms, and ensure that a certain amount of phase is put up. That is the golden period. But after that recession which came in 2008, which was like severe, seriously. Normally, as per the data, whatever I could research and find out, the last 30 years or 40 years, recessions are on an average of 10 months only. It doesn't go beyond that. If you put it effectively, on the GDP perspective, it's about 3 quarters. See, every quarter, GDP is calculated by the country, and the Statistics Survey Department produces to the country outside as a data. If you look at these perspectives, the current state of all these technology companies is all about hit and run. So huge amount of companies from the first 12 years, when really from 95 to 2007, and you had some 5,000 companies in India. Today we got as good as into 4 or into 5 in terms of the numbers, because people who have worked in these 5,000 companies have branched out and they have started their own companies. Technology perspective has increased in terms of all angles of people need, want at the drop of a hat. So what happens is, like, demand per se hasn't kept up to the level what is required. Like today you're taking 10 people. Do you have the demand for the next 5 years for this 10 people? Unfortunate thing is, you have started at 5 today, but do you have a role for them after 5 years? Because technology today, what I could sense 25 years back or 27 years back in 1995 to probably 2007, I could sense technology was live for a year, for 1.5 years, except for the little bit version changes. Today, you just drop of the hat just about 6 months, 3 months. We talk about Python 1.0, Python 2.0 is really might be not even taking 20% of what is Python. That's the type of energy which goes inside learning for these perspectives of the people. So effectively, that's one of the primary reasons the technology or technological company are going backwards towards cutting size of the people. It is a bit dejecting. Unfortunately, you can't do anything because the market today and COVID has really created a lot of absolute hassle for the whole thing. The drama of the COVID, which started 2.5 years or almost close to 33 months back, still it's not settled down. You see pockets like in China, how much of difficulty still they face. Do you know the data? It's alarming. And I could hear people from US saying this, but whenever I speak to somebody like my daughter who is in US in California, she doesn't bring out the perspective saying that it's there. But they say people are not bothered now. It's become like a common code. So, but the influence in terms of the market having absorbed is not a kid. over the 33 months, it has percolated in terms of these companies coming out very well between April to December. But unfortunately, the
Mhm.
calculations are not completely right. That's one of the reasons why these layoffs still keep continuing. Might be, fortunately, India is just about at 4.4% as the research what I did in terms of the studying, in terms of the factors to what is 14.09% towards worldwide. Still, we are at 17,000 plus. I just gave the data 17,046 and 43 companies in India, all companies put together. And this is a very meager number compared to the population that we have, is close to a working population of close to 63.53 crores. And the women folk to the men folk at 19 to 67 in terms of ratio. Still manageable, still not worry. And one of the main factors could be in Indian economy why still not getting affected with the COVID or the the one we are talking about, the layoff, is all about we are still a highly agriculture dependent country. 64-65% still comes up. So generally, the layoff doesn't happen in these segments because farming community depend more in terms of the external weather conditions, the rains, or whatever it is. Investment is needed. It's getting high tech there also, but overall, this was one of the main reasons why the technology company hits. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Madhavan. And coming about technology, what is your opinion, Abilesh? I mean, is it just a beginning? I mean, tech has been very dynamic, even in global or Indian sector. We have seen a lot of dynamism and fluctuations in all the hiring and firing pattern. So, how do you see? Is it just a beginning, or what exactly is happening?
Yeah, it's right. It's just a beginning. So there are more to come. Even you see Meta, they have second round of layoffs. I feel even more startups are trying to little bit of replicating what MNCs are doing. So if there is a layoff happening in Google, definitely the people who have some similar products, they also try to do the layoff. So I think there will be a huge layoff coming up globally, especially in Western countries more because they are getting paid more. And yeah, the budget is not there. They have to shrink the budget. They have to showcase their projected revenue to be higher to attract further investment from any other share market or investment equity firm or something like that. They want to project the revenue to be on high. The return of investment, the profit, they have to increase. So what the reason they are all talking all layoff means, it was not like the people they are underperforming. It was like they want to restructure their financial aspects, right? So I think there will be more to come. But in terms of growing perspective, especially on India, as we know, like 25 under age 25, we have 50% of population. Entire Indian population is 25 plus. So I think there is a growth potential with Indian country. So the recession will be a problem globally, but I feel like we don't want to worry much because the people who learn technology, because everyone knows most of the people who are in any cities in India, they opt for learning technology. So they either they could be of BSc or they do higher on MCA or MSc or something like that, or MBA. So everyone is dependent on technology. So we have good potential candidates. So it means I think we can fight back. We don't want to worry that much. Even the Accenture is, no, they started cutting down a lot of jobs and they have lakhs of employees in India. I think around 7 lakhs of people they recruited in India. But the people they hire laid off is around somewhere 19,000 something. So we don't have to worry much. They still have a lot of openings. So the most of the people who got laid off, whether executives or managers, it was mostly on mid-level people. So mid-level people got fired most. The people who are being there as a manager in terms of technology, even the companies where I work, I can hear many of my friends, they are into mid-level. It means they have to equip themselves. I think if they are technologically fit, yeah, I think layoff or recession, I think we don't want to worry much. And services sector, as I was taking some points yesterday, I see services sector is the more complex contributor to the Indian economy. But IT services, it was still running up very faster than ever. And we see most of the startups in the globe, more of the people are headed by, more of the companies are headed by Indians. It means we are there to create all kind of technologies, not any foreign or Western people. It means we have a lot of potential. And now what happens, the people who are working in Western countries, after seeing the market condition, they are going to come back to India. They are going to start their business in India, or they are going to completely operate in India. So they cut down the investments or any other financial what do you say approaches, what they do in Western countries, they are going to cut out, and everyone's focus is on India. Because we, even in COVID time, I think everyone knows, even WHO even praised India for the approach how we took the vaccination, the lockdown, everything. We know there is a little bit of hiccup happened in terms of economical downtime and everything. But if you compare with globally, we are very safe. The same kind of thing. Even there is a global recession, I think in technology wise, we don't get hit. I think we are little safe. That is what I can.
Okay. So the burning question is why there is huge job cuts. Is it because of the anticipated business or project doesn't come to the business, or what exactly is happening? Is it a marginal pressure or not so business effectiveness? What is that your points, Jasmine? Is the leadership is not effective?
I guess, as you told, definitely layoffs. For me, layoff means it's like market is getting reset. It's not just a recession. It's just a market. Because if you have seen in during the COVID, and even the startups are coming up in India, and the fundings are raising. We have raised around 2 billion, more than 2 billion funds from from foreign countries as well. So that's the reason people start doing reckless hiring, which is the main cause of layoffs these days. So this is that's why we can't take recession. It will not going to affect India first of all. That's for sure, because as Madhavan sir told, Indian economy is based on agriculture as well. So even these days, people are very good. They are very sharp. They are having additional incomes as well. So all these things, like, we are like getting a hype of layoffs. But eventually, if you see, as you said, definitely our managements are not good enough. They are the heartless people if they are taking this kind of things. You can take an example of Apple CEO. He has cut down his own payment to save their employees. So from the leadership perspective, if you can ask me, yes, we can do the alternatives as well. So it's again depend upon how the management wants to take ahead. They want to like take their people, or they want to just have their own leverages. So this is my point of view on the layoffs.
I'll come to Abilesh again. So like see, companies like Amazon, Flipkart, those are all very companies who have multiple products and services, and have a lot of companies who are dependent on Amazon to sell their products. Okay, and talking of recession in Amazon is something very, very, very challenging and very disturbing. Like if at all it is getting affected, major other dependent companies and products will services will also get affected. So is it like a behavioral change in the consumer of buying online, I mean, moving to a direct shopping rather than buying online? What it has happened during the COVID time? Is it a change in the consumer behavior that also influenced in the recession, or what does it you feel?
So that is the point. Actually, people right now, they are not dependent on buying product from a brand e-commerce. For example, you took an example for Amazon. Just consider we are ordering in Meesho. We are using Flipkart. We have multiple variety of options. So consumer behavior has changed well. Earlier there was Amazon and Flipkart. The war will be between them alone. But even if you see the last year, there is a big holiday sale came. Meesho is number 2. Amazon refused to accept that, and they have not shared the stats how much sales they made. Actually, they have just closed it because it's a market loss for them. But the actual fact, Meesho did it. I think there are a lot of other localized e-commerce platforms are there. So localized software developers there. People don't need to buy a domain from Google. Google itself is providing. For example, if you consider of buying a website domain, we know GoDaddy, we know Google.com, and there are a lot of players. I can take you an example called IOX India. They are selling a domain for just 29 rupees. Okay, so recently they are running some advertisement. Then why should I go to GoDaddy and waste my 499 rupees? So people's buying journey has changed a lot. So you see that pricing options availability after this, because big brands make a lot of big money and they want to price it over consumer. And these localized small companies, they can give great value to the users. That is what India is coming. Even you take any industry, there are a lot of localized setups are there. So I think it's a change of behavior. We should not worry about what Amazon employs. There are the number of people who employ the most is MNCs, I agree, but the recent last 2 years it was changed. We got a lot of people, they are getting employed in startups. So it's a good shift back. People are not in MNC right now. They want to shift to local small companies where they get a lot of freedom to work, they get a lot of skills and development, and they have a lot of opportunities there. So I think there is a change in consumer journey. That is what these news and all going up. But if you think about localized small startups, layoff is not in that price.